We're in Blount County, Alabama. Maybe about a
How
half
far
hour.
is it?
About a half hour from Birmingham, 30, 40 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Heading.
So that's near to, what, it's 45 minutes to Tuskegee then?
Well, we're north, so it'd be that plus about a half hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Utoy?
E-U-T-A-W?
No, it's E-U-T-W-A, Utoy. It's just the same community there in Alabama.
I think it is Utah.
No,
Yeah.
Am I whole bunch? I think it's Utah. I think it is.
Okay. If it's Utah,
they will be presenting at 6 this evening.
right. Yeah, we'll be sure to tune in. But yes, we're familiar with Utah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Captain. Would you introduce yourself, Aya?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, could you turn your speaker up a little bit?
I'm on my laptop, so that might be.
Oh, okay. Well, we can hear you just a little faint.
Okay.
But go ahead with your introduction.
I am Aya Michigan, currently living in Chicago. I've been here for 15 years.
There's some background noise. Okay, go ahead.
I've been living in Chicago for 15 years. I'm from Michigan originally.
Hello?
Yes.
It's very hard to hear you.
Is it?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, peace. Can you hear me?
That's
Rena?
Hello?
Aya, is that you?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay.
Shaka, we hear you.
Oh.
Oh, Shaka is in. We were just getting a chance to introduce ourselves in terms of who we are and where we're coming from. Are you ready to begin, Shaka?
Well, if everyone can hear me well, I'm absolutely ready, yes.
Okay. All right. We'll go on and let you get started. If you can turn your volume down just a teeny bit because it's rather loud. Okay, go ahead.
All right. Well, greetings. Welcome to the 2017 Black Sustainability Summit. We are here with another magnificent presenter, Baba Abba Shaka, Abba Imhotep Shaka, with the heal-in. I think a little bit earlier I was sharing with you all that he's created a sacred space for heterosexual African couples. We need this sacred healing space. He's put in so much love and work to find, or not to find, to uncover these modalities, these ancient modalities of healing without intrusion. But would you mind sharing a little bit about yourself and then going into the heal-in? And then people will then be able to ask you questions at their leisure.
Greetings. Greetings. Yes, thank you and welcome, African family. It's truly a pleasure. I give thanks to the ancestors and the Most High for continually to allow us to have and be in gatherings and in situations like this that continue to help us enhance our well-being. Yes, my name is Abba Shaka, which I took on that name some 30 odd years ago. It was given to me amongst a collective of families. Imhotep means, of course, I come in peace, and Shaka is the defender of the family and our nation. I was born in the UK, the first, a child of the first generation of African families that came over from the Caribbean. And basically our way and the way that we were raised was very similar to those of us that were raised back home in the Caribbean or even in Africa, the things that were passed on to us. The things that wasn't passed on to us was those things in which were embedded into our families and our parents' heads as it related to neo-colonialism and the like. And so the feeling and the idea of coming into the West, a Western society, in a sense, a lot of their memory was cut off. And they started mimicking more of the things that were offered to them from that Western society. So in other words, the way I grew up was a mixture of things. It was, I grew up in a way in which was traditional, and I grew up in a way in which was foreign. So to make a long story longer, as we say in the Caribbean, basically, many things happened to me as a youth. You know, for instance, I had eczema and asthma, but my parents didn't know it was to do with food. But yet, really, if their memory was there, they would have known that, and they would have given me the necessary herbs and so on and so forth, because I had serious allergies, eczema, asthma, and all these things. But of course, once my memory returned to me, those things just went away overnight. Basically, in England, I didn't finish school. And it was a lot of that was to do with the way we're taught, the way as Africans our minds are. And if we don't have that unique type of teaching, if we don't have that compassion, that love, that environment, sometimes we just cut off from our ability to be able to think and receive information. So again, I didn't finish school, went to college, didn't finish college. For some reason, it just didn't work. But what always worked with me was connecting with people. Even through my childhood, just being able to express myself in a certain way that allowed me to connect with people and have experiences that allowed me to open up my mind and receive my memory from my ancestors. So this being said, I went through a range of experiences as a young person, but I ended up momentarily in a space in Bristol, we call it the West Country in the UK, in which I experienced living with physically challenged people, severely physically challenged people, and with a range of other youth. And this inspired me to want to work with these same people. And what I recognized from that also is that there are so many of our people that are in different mental, spiritual, physical challenge situations, like the blind as an example, and we can go on, that they have no community, because in a sense, unknowingly, we reject them as well. So anyway, I volunteered for a little while. At 16, I volunteered in various children's homes and such to work with young people. And that was a young age myself, but in those days, we were quite mature for our age. So basically what happened was that from there, I was encouraged to apply for a job, an opening, as a residential social worker, and as a field operator as well. It was like a combined position. And I wrote an essay. I got the interview. I didn't necessarily think I would get the interview because of the way the system's set up. It's a degree is required, CQSW, so on and so forth. But anyway, I went in there amongst a panel of 14 different disciplines, and I just said what I had to say from the heart, and I got in. I got the job. And from there, I continued to work with young people, working with prevention in the courts, residential social work, and I realized how important it was, even at that age. Within 2 years, I was, of course, that was 18 when I got that job, by the way, excuse me, I was 18. And within a few years, I realized how important it was to have Black people in these spaces and places, because, for instance, in adoption, homosexuals were trying to adopt our children. You know, white people were trying to adopt our children. And as Black practitioners at that time, we were fighting to say, no, this is not the way. You know what I mean? We have our issues, and we are the best people that can serve those issues. So anyway, ended up working in the social service system for 12 years, ended up coming to Atlanta, long story short. Loved it, opened up a bookstore here, and I felt that was the best thing that I could do. When I gave up the job, oh, by the way, I gave up the job in social work for the London Borough of Brent, because we were protesting white social workers from South Africa. This was around about 87, 88, coming into getting offered jobs, basically. And so we protested that. The Black social workers, we protested that, and I gave my resignation and wrote a long letter as to why. So anyway, came to Atlanta, liked it, and I decided I wanted to continue to connect with people. So opened up a bookstore. That bookstore was open for 17 years. And it was great. It was like a small community center, and I was able to connect with people. Myself and my family were able to connect with people. Long after that, the store had to close because of the circumstances of the time. Of course, we knew a few years back, it was really crazy, and people had to make choices as to what they were going to spend the money on. So when I worked, I had to get a job because my home was going into foreclosure. I went out, got a job. Of all things, I got a job for the Vampire Diaries, believe it or not. I asked the ancestors, I need a job. They said, you've got to get out there, you've got to continue. I got a job at the Vampire Diaries, saved my house, got a modification, saved my house, literally came home, sat down, I said, you know, Baba, Mama, what am I going to do? I asked the ancestors, what do I do? They said, look, you still love people, still reach out. And they said, look around you. I looked around and I said, okay, a healing space, right? A healing space. Yes, that's what I'll do. So although this space was nowhere near ready, both inside and out, because, you know, decorating and getting a place the way you want it takes time when you have your home. So long story short, it's taken me 8 years to develop this space. And, you know, it's a vegan, vegetarian rejuvenation spa wellness compound. It is a sovereign space for African people, for Black and brown people. And if I may say, as part of my introduction, is that the humbling effect of maintaining a memory that never allows me to forget my ancestors' work and sacrifice, and the joy of knowing that we are our ancestors that manifest through good friends and family. I want to first give thanks for the Black Sustainability Summit family for maintaining such a high standard of African familyhood, humility, and love for my people and nation. And this extends out to all of you that are listening as well, because I know you're part of my family, and I hope I'm part of yours. The ongoing effect of post-traumatic slave syndrome and the ever-rippling tide of white oppression is a reality in most seasoned, well-informed, Black, conscious, spiritually experienced, African-centered communities today. But sadly, over the past 25 years, with this new technology era, there has been less time devoted to personal interaction amongst Africans. From letter writing to cooking at home to simple art of conversation, and the list goes on. Yet the demands on the African mind, body, and spirit have increased tenfold. Our knowledge was always passed on orally, yet we have less family structures to do just that in. The idea that I can do it alone has increased and created more divisions than ever in the Black family. What happened to all of the healers and the artists? They themselves, yes, us, have become burned out, sick, and victims of the ever-pressing I don't need no one society, which reinforces the dog-eat-dog mentality. So why is a healing and recuperation space so important in these spaces, so important in these times? Because our minds are not always as sharp as they used to be, and our abilities to process these massive amounts of information, albeit cell phones, TVs, computers, microwaves, radio, and so on, without having our own filtering system in place, have caused us to have various forms of mental illnesses. A small part of the solution, the filtering system, if you will, is having spiritual gas stations placed around the country that serve a specific purpose in the rehabilitation and rejuvenation of the African mind and spirit. The healing is one of those places. It is an African-owned sovereign healing space that sits on an acre of land in a prime location, 12 minutes from downtown Atlanta, but you would never know it. The space alone is healing, even before anyone works or comes in. It is a vegan, vegetarian, rejuvenation spa wellness compound with our simple motto, we heal without intrusion. Allow for less judgment because we are all continuously healing, and more encouragement because we are all human and fall short. Also scripted in this basic philosophy is that every African is a healer and every African is an artist by birth. And due to the revamped, reconfigured Willie Lynch white systems of thought and behavior system, this created generational memory loss, even amongst the more so-called well-educated. We highly encourage married couples and African complementary couples that have been together for at least 1 year or 2 years ideal to come and recuperate in this divine space. There is so much more weaved into this space than words can account for. So I'm here to answer any questions, and thank you for joining me, and thank you for listening.
Give thanks, Abba. Give thanks. One of the things that I've been doing while you've been talking is I'm showing the very brief video that we did, where it's just photos, but there are photos. It's a photo slideshow of the space. Okay. This is also included in your presentation towards the end. I wanted to give people some visuals of the space. You've designed it so well and took so much time and energy and manpower and hours and collective community work.
Collective energies, absolutely, yeah. It wouldn't have been the same. We couldn't have worked without the collective energies of friends and family, absolutely.
Right. And so you've created this beautiful space for our couples to heal, for the blind and the elderly to thrive outside in the Braille Garden, and to just have a beautiful space where they can walk and put their hands in the earth and reconnect.
Absolutely.
I think that and the video is a bit older, but it still is very much so relevant.
Yeah.
But I would like to go ahead and open it up. There are 15 people who are on the call, and
oh, great.
I will go ahead and open up the call for questions.
Yes.
Everybody, your microphones are now unmuted. Please mute your microphones back if you do not have a question. Thanks.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Hello.
Would you state your name and then go ahead with your question?
Bantu, how you doing, Albert? My question has to do with how long can a couple stay there, and is it like a place to go if couples may be having some issues and they need some space away from children and away from, just the community? They just need quiet space, a time to reflect and reconnect with themselves.
Yes, sister, absolutely. That's exactly what this space is for. It's so necessary to have a space, even when we live in town, because I guess technically we're in town. I mean, we're like, 10 minutes from downtown, well, 12 minutes from downtown Atlanta. But yes, it absolutely is that. And it really, when you come into the space, you wouldn't know that it is the way it is, from the house and to the park that we have, what we call the Healing Park. And as I said, the whole space sits on about an acre of land, and the way it's been configured out, it gives you ample space and peace of mind and time just to be you. And so the innkeeper, the innkeeper will check with you prior to, of course, with whatever it is that you need. You might want to just feed yourself and just not be bothered with anybody. And you just need that space. Then that's what it is. That's what's important. The most important thing is that whatever it is that you need, we want to be able to offer that to you, because we as Africans understand what Africans go through. We understand it from all of our collective experiences, and that these resources are necessary. So yes, it is a space that you can come with your compliments and be in a space for up to 3 days. Generally, we would say 3 days. If we've got people coming from abroad, we allow up to 7 days to 8 days for them to be. So if they're coming from outside of the States, or from, let's say, from California, we allow up to a week, yes. Does that answer your question, sister?
Yeah, that answers the question. So what does it cost per day?
Well, the basic cost, there's a basic cost because you have an option of whether you want to. Generally, we encourage you to have the option which includes your steam, your steam cleanse, which is a space in our steam room, which is chromotherapy, aromatherapy, and steam. So included in that, and not including the food, we'll be looking at something between $125 and up.
$125 and up per day?
Mm-hmm. Yes, for a full day, correct. That includes your steam and the breakfast, and your breakfast as well. Mm-hmm.
You want other meals? What would be the cost if you wanted lunch or dinner?
With the lunch and dinner, again, it varies in terms of what you want, but you'd be looking at something around about.
You don't have your shoes on?
Excuse me?
Shoes on.
Someone needs to use their phone.
I'm sorry.
No, because you're not wearing those. You don't listen. You don't listen.
I'll find the microphone and I'll mute it. Go ahead.
Okay. Right. So, so in terms of the food can range from like $25, up to around about $40, $45. So we work, the other thing is as well, we do our best to work with every couple. Our primary goal is, our main goal is to make sure that, because we say that we're not cheap and we're not expensive. you know, so we just try and, you know, pitch a balance in terms of our offerings. But in terms of food, you know, we figure that food is not, for the most, we know that raw food is quite expensive, but for the most, a lot of times of what, you know, a lot of the times what we pay when we go out to eat is quite expensive. So we just try to, you know, we know that in you know, getting in the necessary foods, and of course, by next year, we'll be growing a lot of our own food. You know, our food costs, we don't see our food costs as being high at all. So we're looking at anything between $25 and $40 for your breakfast and for your lunch.
Okay, so it's only for couples?
Excuse me?
It's only for couples?
Yes, this is the thing. What we decided upon that we would work with just couples and not the children, because we need to focus on the couples because they then heal the family. And so a lot of times the family needs to get away. They need to have time away from the children so they can heal, so they can do whatever the work that is necessary. You know, and let's say, for instance, a couple needs some specific counseling. We've got a range. You know, we work with over 30 to 40 practitioners that are equipped in a range of counseling modalities and backgrounds. So if that is needed, that is there for you. If you need a Thai yoga massage, if you need, it's endless. It's endless in a sense, in terms of we're all healers and we're all practitioners. So we have some very solid practitioners that can offer a range of services for you, just so you can, in a sense, unwind, feel better about yourself, you get pampered and so on. So, yeah.
All of those benefits, are they online?
No, we're not rushing to go online yet because we feel word of mouth is a lot better. And again, we're really working on keeping this space. It's a sovereign space, and we're not looking for the commercial market, to be honest with you. Not like that. We're looking for the word of mouth market, where people like who I believe still online, Tommy and Stacy, excuse me, that also have a healing space in the Alabamas, and we would consider it a very similar space. It's wonderful. Although I haven't been there yet, I'm looking to go. I'm not sure if they can hear me if they're online still, but and we want more other spaces like this. But I really feel strongly that we're not, it's not necessary always to have your Facebook and your, we do have, you can get us on Facebook, and we will be having a website, but you will have to have a code to get in onto that website. So most of what we do is going to be through word of mouth, through the African community, because we don't want to draw that type of energy. This has a very sacred energy here. It's not like a hotel. It's like, you go and you don't know who's come in and out of that room in a hotel, and yet you still have to go into that hotel. So, when people come into this space, you can feel the energy, you can feel the vibes inside and out. So it's not commercial, to be honest with you. It's a space that's divine, and that through the spirit and the guidance of the ancestors, you will find out about it. So that's how we operate.
Give thanks, Abba. I want to be mindful of the rest of the folks who are on the line, since we have about 15 other people. Now it's down to about 13. We are at 133, 132. I wanted to open it up for anybody else that has a question about the space, connecting with Abba, very briefly, to go ahead and ask your question, and then we will make sure you get his contact information so you can reach out if you're interested in supporting his work, or if you're interested in connecting or visiting the space. So go ahead with the last questions.
Greetings.
Greetings, brother.
Greetings. This brother Tommy and sister Stacy and family.
Oh, greetings, Tommy. Yes. How are you doing, family? Greetings.
Yes, we just want to chime in real quick. Send our greetings to you, and thank you again. For the amazing experience you're creating over there.
Thank you.
And
last year was our anniversary, and the Heal-In was our place of healing, rejuvenation, and transformation. And really, it's priceless. So those of you that are inquiring about the price I mean, think of it as an infinite gift to yourself and not put
Yes.
a charge on it, because it's so worth it, especially if you have children or a demanding job. And spread the word, because to have a space like this in the city limits,
Right.
you know, is beautiful, but you don't feel like you're in the city.
Right.
So just a plug, anybody near and far, please check it out.
Yes. And I mean, the experience, you know, that was about a year ago, and that experience is still resonating, still vibrating with us. So, you know, we definitely looking forward to coming back. We'll be in touch probably this afternoon.
You're going to see me first. Hey, you guys are going to see me first. I need it. I'm coming your way, and I was just explaining to the family that you guys have a beautiful space as well. And, you know, I know this is about the healing right now, but the healing is about all of us, you know, and it's about more spaces like this. And I'd just like to say, if I may, that this family, I really appreciate them so much, and they're doing wonderful work, and they have an amazing place, very similar to this in Alabama. And again, you know, you'll be hearing a lot about it, and I hope they're going to be on this same forum next year, because their work is amazing as well. And thank you, family. I definitely really appreciate you guys. It was great having you, and I miss you guys. I look forward to coming there and getting some healing myself.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for that.
Madasi Pa.
Yo, well, we give thanks. Is there anyone else that has questions? Otherwise, we're getting ready to close the session.
One more question.
Okay.
If you wanted to give this experience as a gift to a couple, how would you go about doing that?
You would give me a call, and basically what we do is we prepare that as a gift. We work in the way how you want to offer. We work with you in terms of how you want to offer the gift to the couple. You know, if you want it to be a surprise, if you want to do it via, you know, the various ways in which you want to offer that gift to them. We just organize that, just like any surprise party, if you will. Yeah, you just give us a call and we'll work it out. We'll make it happen.
Okay, sounds wonderful. Thank you so much for
what you do. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it. And praise is due unto the ancestors.
All right. Well, we give thanks to you, Abba. Thank you so much for sharing the video that you did. It was beautifully done. We give thanks to the videographer.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Mama Reina, thank you so much for your help. And the Black Sustainability Summit, I couldn't have this platform. And even prior to this platform, I've had so much support from Sister Reina and other people, so many other people in the community. I'm just grateful for all of you. Thank you so much. And we're here, and we're going to continue to move forward with what we're doing. And through the grace of the ancestors, we're going to be here. This will be here forever.
Give thanks. Yes, it will. Ashe.
Ashe.
We are going to close out. Abba, do you have an email address or contact that you would like for people to use when they would like to reach out to you? If they have further questions, they know that they can email. They know they can email us, and I can forward it over to you. But if you would like to leave any type of contact information, please feel free to do so at this time, and then we'll stop the recording and let folks know that the next session will not be until we're giving folks a break to go get some lunch and to eat. The next session won't be until 3 o'clock, and the moderator will shift. It'll be shifting over to Mama Nobantu at 3 p.m. with Sister Kwasa from Belize, and then Sister Delilah from Belize as well. And you all can check the schedule a little bit later, but give thanks, Abba. Let us know how we can reach you if we have further questions or concerns.
Okay, give thanks. So that number is 770-912-0786. And that's 770-912-0786. And also, of course, you can get more information through the Black Sustainability Forum, and connect with us that way as well. Okay, and then of course you can get us on Facebook. Just tap in the healing and it will pull up.
All right, so we'll see everybody back here around 3 o'clock. I'll send out a reminder email at 2:30, and we'll see you all back online. Give thanks. Thank you, Abba. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. It's been lovely. If you all want to stay on this line and chat, I'm going to leave it open, but I will have it muted and I will not be on it. All right? Okay, peace.